is running the entire time. And we will get started. I know the vast majority of you in the room. For those of you that don't know me, I'm John Bartholomew. Jennifer's my wife, walking that way with our son Ben. We own Mohawk Valley Wellness. 8 years ago, we started off with CrossFit Mohawk Valley. And then we've grown and we've improved and we changed things along the way. We rebranded to Mohawk Valley Wellness about 1.5 years ago. What we realized is that we were doing a phenomenal job getting people to exercise. We were doing an awesome job with that, right? And we still do. It's still part of what we do. But then we started realizing that there's a lot more. In fact, the biggest impact you can have on your overall wellness is done outside of the gym, right? This is the worst gym advertisement ever. This is the anti-gym advertisement. This is like all of these things. Even this you could do really outside of the gym too. So what we do, usually about twice a year, is we run a 6-week in-house nutrition challenge. And then we started saying, okay, we want to make it more than just nutrition. So we partner up with our friends from Balance Chef. He's out of town, but you're gonna be seeing and hearing from him a lot. And the overall goal is to help you guys develop better habits in these areas which bring you closer to wellness. That makes sense so far, guys? I'm gonna try to keep this to an hour, but I will stay and talk for as long as you want. So if you've got nothing going on, I'll sit here and talk about exercise, intermittent fasting, whatever you want for as long as you want, right? So I've got nowhere to go. Jen and the baby are right there. So I'll keep it to an hour, and then anything after that, you guys are more than welcome to pick, ask questions, and we'll go further in depth.
Do you want me to zoom in on that?
You tell me.
There's
I can't.
a lot going on.
Believe it or not, I can't see it from the side.
A lot going on in there.
So let's start with the first part, right? What's in it for me, right? We want to know what do I get out of it? What can I get out of it? So let's start with the prizes, right? The prizes are great. The prizes are some motivation to get people to sign up. So you have the ability for first place. It's a partner challenge, right? So if you don't have a partner, you will need a challenge. We can help people find a partner. If you don't have one, you can win a free year, right? You can win a shopping spree up at Destin USA. Balance Chef meals, massages from Enhanced Wellness Massage, chiropractic care from Climb Chiropractic. So there's a lot of really, really good prizes. But if you go, as you guys do your in-bodies and you see that wall with 40 or 50 smiling faces, there's a lot more behind it than just maybe, hey, I get a shopping spree, or I don't pay a membership for a year, or I win a membership to the gym for a year, right? That's awesome. That's amazing. But if you can develop better habits where you start to sleep better for the next 5, 10, 15 years, you start looking at exercise as something that you enjoy for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, where maybe you slowly over time shift your mindset and start being a little bit more positive. All of those things can last you for the rest of your life, right? Shopping spree up at Destiny, yeah, it's pretty cool. Saving money on a gym membership, yeah, that's awesome. But learning and implementing these things over time truly brings you closer to wellness. This is something I've been passionate about for the last 8 years. So you guys know that I can be here and talk about this for the whole entire morning. So yes, there's awesome prizes. The big overall arching theme is, can you individually move yourself closer to wellness? The way it works, you need to do an in-body some point between now and Tuesday, right? If you do it after Tuesday, you're not going to be able to be in the running to win. So we can do it today. I'll probably block out about an hour tomorrow, and then all day Monday, all day Tuesday. There will be a midpoint. So you'll do one in the midpoint just to be able to check in and see how you're doing. And then there will be a final. And again, with the final, we'll have a block of 2 to 3 days where you have to do it within those 2 to 3 days. Questions on that so far? Questions are absolutely welcome, guys. Relax. You guys are like really, really uptight. You guys know what a nursing home smells like?
Oh,
Depends. No? All right, that one's done. Hopefully they'll get better. How about I have some coffee? All right. So what's in it for me? Better habits.
Out of camera.
Oh, thanks, Joe. How about now? Much better? So we've got prizes, but the overall idea is develop these things and have them for a long period of time, the rest of your life. When you guys do an in-body, when you get off, turn around and look there's a big giant sign outside of my office that says, pay attention to the words, or pay attention to what you think, the words you speak, the way you act, and your habits, right? Your habits end up defining you over time. So if you develop better habits with your mindset, exercise, sleep, and nutrition, you're going to be much, much better off, right? I've left this one for the bottom end because this is one that everybody likes to talk about for a really, really long time. So let's touch on after today, right? Hey, we conclude this, what's going to happen? You guys are going to get a short 90 second to 2 minute video on a regular basis from myself or from Brian, and it's just going to cycle through. Hey, here's a short video today focusing on how you can improve some mindset. Hey, here's something that you could do in the gym or outside of the gym for exercise. Hey, here's something you can do to improve your sleep. Here's something to work on your nutrition, right? So you will also get, before you leave, a guide for the nutrition, right? So we've got those on the table behind. When we get to nutrition, I'll let you guys get up, stretch your legs, and we'll talk about that. So you'll be in contact with us there. If you're in the gym, that's a bonus. You'll be able to see us here, but you can do the vast majority of this outside of the gym. So I'm going to touch on mindset first, and then we'll go down the list. Any questions whatsoever? Nothing. I'm just killing it. I'm just that good. All right? Love it. It has to start with mindset. Because if you leave here and you don't think, it's not worth it, I don't think I could ever do this, it's not going to change, it's not going to click for you, right? You have to start with this. So the reason I always think is like, why? You know, why would I do this? So I am doing this, right? I'm doing this because I have a 3-week-old son, right? I am a very regimented person. Right now, this is not so much happening. This is all over the place. So for the next 6 weeks, I'm trying to make sure that I keep this, and this as tight as I can, right? This is kind of out the window. That's why I'm doing it. Everybody in this room could be doing it for a different reason. You know, there could very well be some of you guys that are doing it and just say, hey, look, I want a free membership. I love it. There could be some of you saying, hey, look, there are some stormy seas with my health on the horizon if I don't do anything, right? If I don't take action and I don't do anything to fix these things, there's some trouble coming around the corner, right? So maybe that's the reason. Maybe you want to inspire somebody. Maybe you've already done really well with this and you're doing it because you want to inspire others. There's a whole host of reasons, but why? Why are you doing it? You know, that's the big one. Start thinking about that because it is a challenge. It's tough. It's saying, hey, look, I got to cut back on maybe some of the foods that are not the best for me. Maybe I got to cut back on the alcohol. Maybe I got to cut back on these different areas. Why are you doing it, right? And you'll get videos throughout the week touching on mindset. How do you slowly over time, right? It's not a light switch, but how do you slowly over time start to develop a more positive mindset? Big piece right there. Any questions on that? All right, exercise. This is going to be completely on you. And to be honest, I'll tell you, I think, again, this is the worst gym advertisement ever. I think this is probably the lowest priority. It really is. If you said, John, I'm going to walk, jog 2 to 3 miles 3 times a week, and I'm going to really attack these 3, you'll do phenomenal. You'll do phenomenal. But what we see a lot of is overemphasis on exercise and a massive failure on these ones, right? Hey, I'm going to go to the gym, and then I'm going to run an extra 3 miles after, and then I'm going to hit a Taebo class, and then I'm going to hit Zumba, and then I'm going to go do water aerobics, and I'm going to do all these different things, but I didn't go to bed until 1 a.m., and I got up at 5, and my nutrition is no different than it was before. This does have a place, but this is probably the lowest priority. I'm telling you right now. If you can understand these 3 and really put a maximum effort into these 3, this becomes, I don't want to say a non-factor, but probably the smallest factor there. I say this all the time. If Joe decided, you know what, I don't like working out at this amazing gym anymore, I'm going to take up ballet dancing, but he stayed focused with his mindset, his sleep, and his nutrition, he'd be doing just as well. He'd be doing amazing. He'd be doing great, right? So it's probably half and half. Half of you guys are members. Half of you guys are non-members in this room. You don't have to come through these doors and train on a regular basis to do phenomenally well. You don't have to do that to win this. You can just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to create some structure and some routine. So with this, again, you'll be getting videos on that. Hey, here's something you could do at home. Here's an idea of how to become more structured with that. So touching on that, this is something that I'm doing over the weekend. I'm going to map out my workouts. What does that mean, right? That means I have a big giant day planner. It's in the other office, and I'm going to say Saturday or Sunday, what days of the week am I going to train? But I'm not going to come out the gates and say, okay, I'm going to train 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I'm going to put 3 days on there, and I'm going to make it written, and I'm going to make an appointment in my phone. So for those of you that are, come to the gym, you could check in, right? You can make that little agreement with yourself and the gym that you're going to come in. And if you don't work out here, I would advise saying, all right, this upcoming week, I'm going to walk 1 day and jog another day. If you go to another gym, amazing, great. I'm going to go to that gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday I'm going to go hike. Write it out. You're making yourself a little verbal contract. This is a partner competition. If you have a partner, say, hey, I don't know what I'm John. Debbie. Hey, Debbie, you know what we should do this weekend? We should go walk the canal trail. Hey, we should get our bikes and we should go ride our bikes together, right? Make a little contract, whether it be verbal, don't make it written, and say, hey, look, I'm going to go do these things on these days. Your likelihood of being successful goes through the roof when you do that. If you just say, this is the week I'm going to kick the gym in the ass, maybe not. If you say, I'm going to go to the gym at 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturday I'm going to go with the kids and we're going to go ride bikes, or we're going to go climb Bald Mountain. There you go. Your success rate just went through the roof. Again, this could be working out here. This could be working out at a different gym. This could be simply, if you guys are starting at a spot with little to no exercise, this could be walking 3 days a week. Perfectly fine, right? One of the things a challenge that I will face working with everybody is understanding that everybody's at a little bit of a different spot. Looking at the group I'm with, there's some faces that I see in this gym 5 days a week. There's some faces I've never met before, right? So figure out where you're at. If you have not worked out in 10 years, telling yourself, I'm going to work out Monday through Saturday and then I'm going to do a double session on Sunday is not very realistic. The success rate is going to be low. Any questions on exercise? Anything? Nothing. Joe, you got to throw me a bone here. Ask me a question.
So, John, when you say exercise, besides walking and stuff, I mean, you could literally just jump rope in your yard or do jumping jacks.
Yep.
And you don't have to have a gym facility if you're just at home, right?
You don't need. You need this. You need the desire and the discipline to do it, right? You don't need anything. You could win this competition doing nothing but body weight movements in your bathroom. You can. You literally can. If you said, all right, I'm going to do 10 air squats a day and a bunch of flutter kicks, and I'm just going to do body weight movements in my bathroom 3 days a week, but I'm going to just really, really dial in my nutrition. I'm going to work on the best sleep I can. Your results would be tenfold versus I'm going to join Planet Fitness, Mohawk Valley Wellness, 17 other gyms, but you miss these, right? So I'm not going to hammer the exercise a ton, but one of the things that we do have that we can send out to you, Ryan, will you put your hand up real quick? Ryan McGrogan of McGrogan Designs did a phenomenal job, and we have a travel workout series. Basically meaning if you have no equipment whatsoever, here's 3 easy workouts you could do. If you're at a hotel, here's 3 workouts you could do. If you're at a gym, here's 3 workouts you can do. So if you guys have signed up, you will get that sent to you. You'll get that sent right to you. Best part is, I love the camera. I love making videos. So you're going to get lots of me probably in my front yard with my dog saying, hey, look, guys, didn't make it to the gym, don't have any equipment. Here's an easy workout for you today. It takes 10 minutes and no equipment. And you get to see me and my dog flopping around in the front yard, right? So it's the desire and the discipline that'll win it, right? Or, like I say, get away from winning it. The desire and the discipline will be what over time helps you develop much better routines and much better habits. What I'm talking about with that is good routines and good habits, they don't really stop. They don't leave behind. You're not leaving them behind. Where am I going with that? Is when you travel, if you develop good habits and good routines, one of the first things you start looking for when you travel is, where am I going to be able to work out? Where can I get a decent meal? What's my sleep going to look like, right? That may be a different mindset for a lot of people in the room, but that's okay. That's what we're talking about. It's trying to help you guys slowly over time understand that. So we talked on mindset, we talked on exercise. Best part is, if you have questions, email us. Sleep. This has been one of my favorite ones for the last 2 years. I've really, really, really geeked out on sleep, right? The last 2.5 weeks, it hasn't been there, and it's been extremely, extremely noticeable. So what do we want you guys to think of with this, right? There's studies. If you look out there are studies that will say that your sleep, the quantity and the quality of your sleep, is as important, if not more important than, definitely more important than the exercise, hands down. I'll tell you right now. If you're like, all right, I'm super fired up, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, but I average 3 hours of sleep a night, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle really, really hard, right? They're saying, again, that sleep is going to be on the same plane, if not more important than nutrition. So what can we do for that, right? Start simple things like, hey, in bed no later than, right? So most of us, anybody here have a time they wake up, right? Most of us have a right? Do we have a in bed no later than 9, 9:30, 10, 11. If we don't, sometimes we get caught up saying, oh, that was my 13th episode of whatever the best series on Netflix is. Like, how did that happen, right? You guys know that they make sure that it loops to the next video, like, or the next episode in like 7 seconds. So you don't even have time to turn it off. It's already on the next one, and you're like, how did I watch 14 episodes in a row? Well, because there's people that are paid to make sure you watch those again and again and again and again. I'm telling you, this is, you're looking at the science experiment right now. My life is different in a great way because of the baby, but my sleep is chaotic, right? So I'm going to really hammer these other ones the best that I can. So simple things. Jennifer, what did I do with a thermostat as an experiment?
When we first moved in,
Yeah.
every couple weeks I would look at the thermostat and it would be 1 degree lower every single time I woke up. So when you wake up, you're really cozy in bed, you wake up and your feet touch the floor and you're freezing, and you look at the thermostat and your handsome husband has now brought it down to like, I don't know, in the winter time, I think it was
58.
in this, yeah. It was like 61, 60, 59,
All right.
and lower.
What we're getting at is there are simple things that you can do over time that will lead you to better sleep, right? Better sleep leads to better body composition. Better sleep leads to better energy, better mood. There's nothing that you'll say, oh man, I got a great night's sleep and now I'm really pissed off about it. It just doesn't happen. But there's little things that we can do to make sure that we're getting better sleep. So you heard Jennifer, I ran a science experiment at our house, and every night I turned it down 1 more degree, a degree colder, a degree colder. The worst thing you can do is be like, I don't know why I'm getting a bad night's sleep, and you wake up and you're sweaty like you just ran the Boilermaker. Well, if the house is 68, 72, 75 degrees, luckily we're on the tail end of summer where it's going to start to cool down, right? This is a great time to crack the windows, get a great night's sleep because the temperature is better. So we talked about setting a bedtime. Temperature. The next one. This is a giant issue that I try to, when I work with men and women one-on-one, we chat about this a lot. Get the cell phone out of your room. Get the cell phone out of your room. A lot of people start going, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I don't know if I would be able to do this. And I've heard everything from, what about an emergency? What about, it's my alarm clock? Bullshit. It's all bullshit excuses. It really is. Really is. Right? And you don't have to do it, but one of the best things that Jennifer and I have ever done for our sleep, for a whole bunch of other reasons, is get the phone out of the room, right? I'm supposed to wear hearing aids from the military, right? My hearing is shot. My hearing's not that good. I'm supposed to wear hearing aids. I can hear my phone plenty fine in a different room other than my bedroom. So if there's an emergency, God bless my mother, if you know her, she's had more issues with her health in the last 4 years than most people do in 20 years. If there's an emergency, they know to call me. They call my phone. They don't text me. Nobody's going to text me an emergency. They're going to call me. And I can hear it crystal clear where I put it on the other side of the room. Because it becomes a slippery slope. Like, all right, I'm excited. I'm going to get great sleep. I'm going to get in bed no later than 9:30. 9:30, here I am. Oh, look, there's John on Facebook. Let me watch his video. Oh, look, there's a sale on this thing. Oh, look, let me check out WKTV. Hey, look at this thing. And it's 10:45, and I'm wired. And I don't know why I can't get a good night's sleep. The best thing you can do, get away from artificial light. The best thing you can do to wake up, get in natural light. The worst thing you can do when you're trying to go to sleep is have massive amounts of light exposure. So my phone's right there, right? But if I was doing an example, if I put a phone this close to my face for 30, 45 minutes, all I'm doing is I'm blocking the body's natural ability to release serotonin and all of these things, melatonin, all these different things that are supposed to naturally happen with less light over time. You're trying to sleep like a baby, right? So if you have a routine, if you have a structure, a bedtime, if you have a temperature, what normally happens with the temperature as the day goes on, right? Normal, if we didn't have climate control, everything gets cooler, right? What happens when the sun sets? Everything gets darker. That's naturally how as humans we're supposed to fall asleep. But through creature comforts and modern technology, we fucked it all up. We fucked it up all kinds of horrible ways, right? So now we're like, the house is 75 degrees, I'm sweating in my sleep, I've got my phone to my face, I've got more stimulation in my hand than I could ever imagine, and it never ends, right? You can watch Netflix on your phone, you can have Facebook, Instagram, you could be text messaging, if you're a workaholic, you could be answering emails until 2 a.m. right? So all of those things prohibit you from getting a good night's sleep. So maybe you're sitting here, Karen, right? You've been a member for a long time. Maybe her exercise, I know her exercise is on point. She's here on a regular basis. Her nutrition is usually good to well above average. But maybe this is something that, you know what, I'm going to take 6 weeks and really, really work on this. This, for me, has been the biggest thing I've done in the last 2 to 3 years. I've always done this. This is what spawned me to start this business. This has always been good to well above average. When I started the business, I was the guy that would stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. and then get up at 4:30 and be like, I'm burning on both ends. I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. About 2 or 3 years ago, I stopped doing that, and I mentally feel way better, physically feel way better. So if you're like, oh no, there's no way, I just have to go until 2 a.m. and start again at 6 a.m., you're crushing yourself. You're literally taking years off your life by just crushing yourself. This is so massively important. I want at least one question on sleep.
I have one.
Beautiful. Fire
How
away.
many hours?
Great question. I aim for 7. I think 7 is a fair number, right? Everybody in this room is probably within a 15, 20 year bracket of ages. 7 at a minimum. If you get 7.5, 8, great. On average, if you're a little bit below that, but we start getting into the slippery slope of like 5s and 4s. So I would aim for 7, right? So what does that look like for me? A month ago, that looked like me going to bed around 9 and getting up somewhere around 4, right? And for me, that was ideal. The sun had set, the temperature is dropping. Jennifer and I had accomplished what we needed to accomplish for the day. I'm in bed at 9. I'm roughly asleep by 9:15, 9:30, and I'm getting up around 4 a.m.
9:02.
That is, what's that?
Just 9:02.
9:02?
When you fall asleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 9:02. So I hit the pillow and I'm out. Still good on YouTube there? Beautiful, right? Now, that's going to vary, right? You may be somebody that does a little bit better with 8. But I will always say, hey, look, if you want to err on the side of more, always err on the side of more, unless you're starting to get bed sores, and okay, then that's bad. But don't err on the side of, no, I tried it. I tried the 1 a.m. to 4 for a while, and that does not work, right? So I would say 7 is a great goal. A little bit more, awesome, but that's also going to be based on everybody's, their individual schedules and what they need to do. Great question. Anything else on sleep?
How do you accomplish 8 hours if you naturally wake up after 6?
How do you accomplish 8 hours if you naturally wake up at 6? I would try things like, start with just saying, hey, I'm just going to lay in bed for a little bit longer, right? A lot of times, I used to be guilty of it. Again, if my phone, stay away from stimulation, right? So wake up and, man, it's only been 6 hours. I feel like I'm ready to go. Just try. See if you can lay in bed. See if you can fall back asleep. Don't do anything that's going to peak stimulation, right? So don't be like, let me turn on the TV, let me grab my phone real quick, let me check if I got any texts, any emails, let me check social media. Stay away from all stimulation, right? Here's a great example. When he wakes up at night, I don't say a word to him, it's almost like mean, and I turn the farthest light away, and it's like a methodical. Why? Because I want him to go back to sleep. I don't want to be like, oh, Benjamin, and like tickle him and turn the lights on and like entertain him, right? Because I'm stimulating, I'm making him wake up. I don't give him any coffee until at least 9 o'clock the next day. So stay away from the stimulation. And if you can't, and again, none of these things are like, all right, tonight I'm going to go home and get 9.2 hours of sleep. They're not. You have to work on them over time. But if you understand the massive value, why you're doing it, why is sleep so important? Because literally, it can add years or take them away from your life. So you say, okay, even if I lay in bed, great, lay in bed, stare at the ceiling. Close your eyes, count to 100. Try different things to see if you can fall back asleep. The worst thing you can do is be like, okay, it's 6, grab that phone. That phone is like the anti-sleep machine. It really is. That is stimulation to the 1000th degree. And it never ends. It's bright. They work on it. Right? You guys know this, right? They have men and women with full-time careers, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those different things, to try to find ways to have you spend more time on it. Businesses, I market on, how did you guys hear about the challenge? Facebook. I market on Facebook, right? It's a double-edged sword for me. I use it for the business, but I also, when Jennifer and I get home, we look at it, we make sure there's nothing we need, we try to put the phones away from us as far as we can. TV in the bedroom, I would, if you have it there, you don't have to go home and take it off the wall. Just, hey, no TV after this amount of time, right? You're trying to get back to your natural, what your body naturally likes, which is getting up at a relatively early hour, being productive during the day the best you can, and then as the day tapers on, cutting back from that a little bit. Make sense so far? Dennis?
John, adding to that, I wake up after 6 hours. So I put the phone away, like you said, and I don't look at the clock anymore. Because the minute I know what time it is, then I start doing math. And then my mind's going. It's like, oh crap, I only have 2 hours left. I'm like, I don't have time to, so I try not to look at the clock at all to get that, I just put it on the other side of the room. or
That's
away.
that's an awesome one, because I don't think, very rarely do you ever wake up, look at the clock, and go, yes, I've got 7 hours. It's
Right.
usually like, no matter what, even if you had 7 hours, like, oh, I only have 7
Right,
hours.
yeah. It's not,
Kim, I saw a hand up back there.
Yeah, the other thing that I did was I never liked blinds in my room.
Yep.
I liked the natural light, and I did, when we did this back before, I did get room darkening shades, and it makes a huge difference, because literally the minute I would open my eye, if I saw a little bit of sun, I'm like, oh, it's time to get going. Now I have no idea what time it is, no matter what time I open my eyes, because it's dark. That's helpful.
Yeah, and I didn't touch on that, right? And that's something that, again, guys, you're going to get more videos from myself and from Brian, and then every Sunday we'll do a Facebook Live, so you can pick on us live on the internet. But Kim and I work together, right? So I do this one-on-one with clients too. And one of the things we talk about is making the room dangerously dark, right? We have blackout blinds. I'm talking every little thing in our room. We have a little noise machine that makes ambient noise. We put a winter hat over it, right? We have an essential oil diffuser, and we put either a Post-it note or electrical tape over any of those little lights. Our room is dangerously dark, right? And I'd rather, it sounds funny, I'd rather sprain my ankle once every 10 years, but get 10 years of great sleep. I'd take that trade-off, and I haven't sprained my ankle yet, but I get great sleep. And actually, knock on wood, even with Benjamin, we're working structure. Hey, what time is he going to bed? What are we doing immediately after that? Are we in the room dimming the lights? How can we still, even with a newborn, still try to have some semblance of some good sleep there, right? So because it's massively, massively important to Jennifer and I, and obviously to the baby. What else? Any other questions on sleep? Yes, ma'am.
I think for a lot of women, it's hard to sleep through the night. A lot of us wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning. It's tough.
Yep.
You do not get a good rest.
So 2 things,
Yeah.
right?
You need to go to bed earlier though, because I know some people that maybe don't get sleep through the night, stay up really late. And that really late thing is what's gonna get you. I used to be I was a vampire. I would stay up all night long. Now if I'm not working, I'm in bed at 8:30. I don't care if the Yankees are on and I'm missing a hell of a game, I'll tape it. That's what the DVR is for. I don't care if I'm missing a show, that's what a DVR is for, to sleep. You
It's-
gotta get to bed.
Joe hit the nail on the head, right? It's the priority, right? If there's something that you like or enjoy that's at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, tape it or find out about it the next day. And the other 2 things, right? You guys may notice I tend to indulge in a small quantity of coffee, small quantities. So with that, if you're a coffee drinker, any of the any of the energy drinks, any of that stuff, try to limit that stuff to a certain point. Just, hey, after noon, I'm not drinking any more coffee. 2 o'clock, I'm not drinking more coffee. Another one is men and women having a hard time because they got to get up 2 or 3 times to hit the bathroom, right? So I drink coffee, a lot of it, up until about noon, and then I shift gears and I drink a lot of water. But usually by 5 or 6 by dinner time, I'm laying off the water so I'm not having to get up at 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock to go hit the bathroom, right? There's all little tricks and all little different things that you can do so that you can get that better night's sleep. But that is such a massive, massive game changer. When I started this business, I promoted this was the most important thing and followed up with this. Those were like the 2 things I talked about. Yes, ma'am.
Sleep, like anything, it's creating a habit, and like John was saying, how many times a day do you think I have to touch my phone? I have to go get my phone. It's impulsive. So I think it does take a while to do it if you're consistent with it. I think drinking, getting better nutrition, drinking water, getting better nutrition, and really focusing on your sleep. And we have 1 TV in our house, and on average, I can't even tell you how often we even turn it on. We do use our cell phones every day, but like you said, we keep them away from us. So it is a habit that you have to really get into the flow of, but it works.
And you know, somebody might be like, oh my goodness, you only have one TV and you don't turn on that often. What do? Sleep. Read. There's a lot of great stuff because the TV gets you're on to the next thing, the next show, the next episode. Oh my goodness, the game went super long and it's been 4 hours and it's midnight. Yes, sir.
Well, in the situation where I'm in, I have to get up every morning at 5 a.m.
Okay.
Take a medicine. So sometimes, and my biggest problem is when I'm sleeping is like, you gotta turn over, you know, you're not comfortable or whatever. And then it's like, takes 10 minutes before you fall back to sleep, you know, and it's constantly back and forth, back and forth. Then when I get up at 5 o'clock, it's like, you know, I gotta get out of bed, take my medicine, and I'm actually awake.
Okay.
So I tend to go back to sleep. Take me 45 minutes to actually get back to sleep before I'm actually into a sleep. Then I gotta get up at 7 o'clock. So you're not getting a good solid sleep in that respect. So should I get back up?
I make notes over here real quick. Perfect. Versus progression. So I won't forget about you, Joe. Right? I've plugged McGrogan Design. You did good coffee. I got Joe here in a second.
One of my problems too is I don't get out of work until 8 o'clock.
Okay. So I start looking at things and I start prioritizing them. I say, for me, I'll spend money on things that bring me better sleep, right? So, you know, not saying you got to go see Joe today and get a new mattress, but Jennifer and I traveled. We went and we stayed at her brother's place, and they had these pillows, and we both slept like rocks. You know what we did the next day? Bought those pillows. I will spend money on a heartbeat on things that'll make me healthier, happier, and more productive. In a heartbeat, no questions asked. If somebody says, "Hey, John, weighted blanket," I've got a weighted blanket. Central air. We put central air into our house because our house was hot. It was super, super hot. We were sweating in our sleep. We moved, right? So I will not pull any punches if I say, hey, is this going to make me sleep better? Not to say you got to go buy a new bed set, a new everything, but maybe you look and say, hey, maybe I do need a new pillow. Maybe a pillow turns into, in 3 months or 6 months, maybe a new mattress. I always look and say, my dollar bills that I want to spend should be making me healthier or happier, right? So I'll drop money on that stuff in a heartbeat. And the other thing is, none of this stuff, guys, none of this is going to be perfect. The other day, I was having a day where, wherever Jen went, you could ask her, I beat myself up over all this stuff that wasn't worthwhile. So the other day, I had a day where my mindset was not exactly the greatest, right? Exercise. There's going to be a week where maybe you only get two days in out of the week, or maybe 1 day. Sleep. There's going to be a day where you go, man, I did not sleep last night worth anything. Nutrition, same thing. What you're looking for is progress, right? If you say today, whatever today is, the 23rd, 24th, this is where I was in this arena. My nutrition was, on a scale of 0 to 10, was a 4. Well, man, 6 weeks later, it's a 7. That's not a 10, but it's substantially better than where it was. And maybe, like I said, you take this from, man, this is really bad for me. I take this from a 0 to a 2. I take this from a 5 to an 8. I take this from a 2 to a 4. You're making progress. The goal is to spark, at least get you thinking about sleep, get you thinking about nutrition, get you thinking about exercise, and how those things have a massive, massive impact on your overall life. Yes, Dennis?
Along those lines of progress, not perfection, right? Can you touch on like how often you should weigh yourself, how you deal with setbacks? Because I mean, how do you know you're progressing? Because I fluctuate one day to another. It could be drastic sometimes.
So it depends. It depends on how you take the number on the scale, right? I use the number on the scale as one of many different things, right? I have a whole bunch of different metrics that I use. How do I feel when I run? How do my clothes fit? The number on the scale. How is my sleep? How's my energy level? All these different things. The scale and the InBody is one unit of measure. And I would say weekly. For this challenge, you're going to go 1, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. If you like to weigh yourself and you don't get wrapped up on the number, check it frequently. Check it every 2 to 3 days, right? You can see how things are going. I can tell when men and women are going to have a bad InBody reading because they haven't been on it in 7 months, right? It's like you bury your head in the sand and go, I don't want to look at this, I don't want to look at this, I don't want to look at this. That's a telltale sign that it's going to be really bad, right? Get into the routine of doing what you need to do, sleeping better, eating better, exercising on a regular basis, to where you're not scared, you're not like about to be in tears, and you can look forward to it. Not that you love it, but you look forward to it and say, okay, I'm right where I should be. Hey, there's a little fluctuation. The other piece with that is if you do have a regression, right? We're not talking about being perfect. Is understanding, this is one of my favorite analogies, and we'll let everybody stand up for a minute and we'll go to nutrition. Right? There's 4 things in this sport. Mindset, exercise, sleep, nutrition. All right. How many tires are there on a normal car?
4.
4. You guys are good. Good. All right. You're with me, right? So if I go out to my car, and this is the God's honest truth, if you go up to my house right now, that silver Honda that I have has a flat tire. It does. It's sitting in my driveway with a giant flat tire. So let's say exercise. For that day, my exercise was no good, right? I have 1 flat tire. I'm not going to drive home in 30 minutes to an hour and stab and slice all the rest of the tires and go, now I'm really screwed. Now I'm really screwed. No. I say, okay, the exercise wasn't good. But you know what? I can keep my head on right and I can tackle it tomorrow. I can make sure I get a really good night's sleep and I can eat really well. So don't let little micro regressions, don't let little micro setbacks, they're going to be there. Don't let them derail you from what the ultimate goal is, which is making progress. All right. What I would like to do is we've got about 24 minutes to go into nutrition because that's a big one for everybody. On the table that Sherry's holding there so it doesn't go anywhere, great job, Sherry, beautiful job. There are 4 different stacks of paper, right? What you're going to, man, Sherry, you're hired. Bam. There's a number on there, right? The number is the middle of a bracket, right? So I'll use myself as an example. If I weigh 175 pounds, this is going to be an easy one. I'm going to find the one that says 175. That doesn't help you guys out. You're going to use a number. That number has 25 pounds below it and 25 pounds above it, right? So if you see a packet that says 225 and you weigh from 200 to 250, that's the one you're going to grab, right? So that number is a middle point. If you weigh 25 pounds below it or 25 pounds above it, that's what you grab. I'll do another example. If you have one that says 275, if you are 250 to 300, you're going to grab the one that says 275. If you see one that says 175 and you weigh 150 to 200, everybody loving my chicken scratch so far? We've seen how it's going. So that number that's on there is the middle point. If you weigh 25 above or 25 below, that's the right one for you. I'm going to say, guys, let's take 3-4 minutes. Get up, grab one, hit the bathroom if you need to, get some coffee, throw out some fresh coffee, some water, and then we'll dive deep into nutrition. Everybody's favorite topic. It should only be 4 more hours, guys. 4 more hours. That's bad. Probably don't need a video for a break.